So hi guys, I'm Tony Monga. I should say. I'm going to talk about how we can de-anonymize people who use some forums. Basically, these forums are using Gravatar. So first, I will explain what Gravatar is and how it works, because apparently not everybody knows. Then I'm going to show a few attacks on Gravatar. Most of them are already known, but apparently not very widely known. And finally, I will show a practical example on a French forum. So, just a few words about me. I'm a French-speaking Swiss citizen, so that's why people know Switzerland is 60%, 70%. No, that means, okay, that's 60%.
It's not that good, of course.
That's like 110%, that's nice. Okay, that's 60% the German speaking, 30% French speaking, and 10% Italian speaking. So we, from the French speaking part, were pretty much interested in the French politics because we watch French TV here in Canada. And tomorrow is Switzerland's National Day, basically. Yeah, it's also kind of the first time I speak at the conference, so I'm a bit stressed. And I'm not really a passwords guy, actually. I'm a reverse engineer. And I'm a member of the PyQ Capture the Flag team. You probably never heard of it, but anyway. And my specialization is in embedded devices security. That's mainly iPhone, Android, and I also work with a very long time on smart cards and pay television security in another life. Okay. So what is Gravatar and what does that work? Who knows Gravatar? So not so many people. But okay. So I'll explain. So Gravatar means globally recognized avatar. So what it is, it's a service that allows you, when you post on a forum or on a website, to always have the same profile picture. And so if you go, I don't know, on WordPress and you post a message, you have always this profile picture. And it's used, the identifier, it's the email address used to register on the website. And it's the MD5 hash, simply the MD5 hash of the email address. So you can see a bit how it links to passwords. And, well, Gravatar is owned by Automatic, that's also the guys of WordPress, I think, and the other thing. And it's used by a few major sites, actually. So, which sites use Gravatar? WordPress, Stack Overflow, GitHub, Hootsuite, Discuss, TechDirt, and many others. So if you want to have your Gravatar, what do you do? So you just go to gravatar.com. If you don't already, you create a WordPress profile, and then you upload an image. So I put the hashtag image, you don't mind, right? That's fine. Okay. So you upload your image, and then it will be used on every site where you go. So if you see, I don't have the laser pointer, but if you look, you see, I don't know if you can read it, but can I have a laser pointer? Wait a second. What's around? No laser pointer, it's not. Someone's calling. Oh, it's fine. Anyway, you can see that the image tag with the source goes to gravatar.com/avatar/ thank you, sir. So when you post a comment on a website that uses Gravatar, your profile image, the source is like, okay, that's because that's several servers, you can www.gravatar.com/avatar/ the MD5 hash of your email address. Okay? And so if you see, if I do an MD5 hash of the address I registered on Gravatar, the hash starts with 82b64, and you see here also 82b64. Okay? Now, what many people think is like, okay, I don't care because I didn't register a graph. But it doesn't matter, because even if you comment on a website and you didn't register an avatar, a real avatar, you will still try to get this image. So you will still do this tag with the MD5 of your email address every time. And you will get a default image you can register. It looks very often like this or that one. So how many of you are like, oh, okay, I saw that. How many remember this image? More? Okay. And that's for user your avatar. And there's also others. You can either website administrator can put the custom image, or okay, as I said, the MD5 is also usually registered. And Gravatar also provides other means to have custom avatar for everyone who doesn't even have it registered. Well, that one time it was identicals, so who knows that now? Who is like, oh, that's it. Have you ever seen these images? No? You never use Stack Overflow or WordPress? Yeah. So if you use one of these sites and you have one of these images behind your comment, the hash of your email address is in the HTML. So they also have wave avatars, that's those ones, and monster IDs. I never saw those ones. So basically, that's all images that are generated randomly from the MD5 hash of your email address. Okay? So what are the risks? What are the privacy risks caused by that? So the first thing is that if I know someone and I know his email address, I can find if he posts on a public website. So I don't know, like this guy, who knows this guy? Okay, that's Jean-Philippe Omas. You know, he's okay, we need to do that. So I know his email address here, and I hash it with MD5. Then I Google it, and I can find that he posted on this site. See? So already you can stalk people like that. That's already not that good. What else can I do? I can try to guess someone's email address. So there's this guy who invented, Matt Mullenweg, who invented Gravatars, basically. What his email address could be, I wonder. I have a few ideas. It could be matt.mullenweg@automatic.com, or mullenweg@automatic.com, matt@automatic.com, or maybe on the possibilities. So I hash all of these, I Googled them, and oh, okay, that's his email address, you see, because I got a hit. I got a hit from on Google with see Gravatar, avatar, blah. So it allows me to guess people's email address also, in some cases. Not good. And of course, the most interesting part that I can try to break the hashes like we do for password and find people addresses. So simply with hashcat. Well, not simply. I had to ask Atom to give me a beta version because the standard version only supports up to 15 characters for passwords, which is kind of okay for passwords, not for passphrases. But it's also not okay for emails, because an email is very often longer than 15 characters. So with beta, well, okay. So before hashcat, I didn't invent that. It's already known for a very, very long time. Already in 2008, a guy called Abel so it was a problem trying to break the hashes on Stack Overflow. And he scrapped Stack Overflow for 80,000 hashes of users' email addresses with their usernames too. And he used this information to find out 10% of the emails. But as you know, there is a lot of correlation between a username and an email address, especially if you're not trying to hide. For example, me, I'm Dominic Ponga. If I post on Stack Overflow and Dominic Ponga, and my email address is dominic.ponga@gmail.com. There's a lot of correlation. It's pretty easy. It's not very hard. And many people and Gravatar themselves, they really don't play the attack. It's like, okay, so what? An email is not secret information. And the resource trade-off is very bad. It's so hard to hash identifiers that spammers will never do that, you know. And well, if spammer wants to harvest email addresses, there are many other ways to do that. So we don't care. It's not important. But really, the problem is not spam. The problem is privacy. Who cares about spam? So that's exactly what Gravatar said. They have that in their fact, but I think they removed it. But you can still find it on the thread on Stack on the Stack Overflow. They say that rainbow table and this password tracking stuff, it's clear that passwords, which are generally shorter and less globally different from one another than email addresses. I don't believe that, but let's say that. And to try to hash, to brute force these amplified the email addresses, it will require to construct and operate the monstrosities that will be prohibitively costly. That's what Gravatar said. But in fact, emails are longer than passwords, but the end of the email address is not very hard to guess in many cases, because most of the email addresses nowadays come from a few providers, like at gmail.com, at outlook.com, at live.com, at yahoo.com. Okay? And they are highly predictable. So it's all very often first name, last name, dictionary words, and hybrid like first name dot last name, first letter of first name, last name, stuff like that. There's not so much entropy, in fact. And you don't need a monstrosity whatever to grade them. You saw Jeremy's machines and also Rick's machines. Like nowadays, everybody has a password cracker with GPUs in his bedroom. Okay. Yeah, nice animation. So now we are going to see how it applies to political forums. So, like in the USA, we do not know the political context in France, so we give a few words about that. So the French government is led by François Hollande since 2012. He's a left-wing, I think what we call social democrat in Europe. And he has the lowest satisfaction rate for any French president, as far as I know. His satisfaction rate was 23% in July 2013, so I think it's pretty low. And he did recently quite a few reforms, law reforms that were pretty controversial in France. There was same-sex marriage. I think you've got the same thing in the USA. There were huge protests with, let's say, 1 million persons in Paris. Protesters were arrested just for wearing a T-shirt against same-sex marriage. And apparently police used tear gas against families of protesters and with kids. So that was a huge scandal and stuff. Other reforms, okay, though this one's like complicated words, but I think it just means basically the fact that same-sex couple could adopt children. And also, they wanted to introduce voting rights for immigrants, but it's on hold also because it's too controversial at the moment. And there also been problem in France with confrontation between left-wing and right-wing extremist groups. And there was one guy, left-wing activist, that was killed during a fist fight with right-wing activists. And it was, again, huge scandal, huge protest, fascism is back, and black boots in the streets, whatever. And well, it turned out that actually the left-wing group was stalking the right-wing group, and they were also having websites with the names of the win people's pictures and stuff, and they were actually looking for confrontation. But again, that was a pretty tense situation. And you have to know that in Europe, you don't have, most of Europe, and especially France, you don't have a right to free speech like you have in the US. What is more important in Europe is the law against hate speech. So you can get sued and go to jail for racial hatred speech, inciting violent action, or legal. You will very often lose your job if you display a political opinion in public. And you can get harassed or physically attacked by political opponents. Just for example, one journalist, a French journalist said most drug dealers are black and Arabs, it's a fact. He's a right-wing polemist who said that on TV. And it was in a context where we were talking about the racial profiling by police officers. And for saying that, he had to pay 2,000 euros for provoking racial hatred. So, yeah. So, in Europe, you cannot say these kind of things. So, the thing is that several political forums in France are using gravitas. And the members of this forum, they use pseudonyms and they try to be anonymous because they have an expectation of privacy because they might get sued for what they say on the forums. They often use these forums to vent and say things that are really not legal. And some posters use disposable address on this forum because they are smart, but most people don't do that. And still, you need to use a real address because most forum needs address verification before you can post. And so, what are the risks? The identity of many users can be discovered with Gravata. You can find, because if they use a last name, first name, or something like that in their email address, it's easy to find who they are. And even if they didn't do that, well, you might use an email address, Google it, and find other places where it's used, like eBay, and find the address of someone. And the authorities, when they get a court order to find the identity of someone who posted a comment that they don't like, they will get a court order. But of course, the website, the forum, is located in another country, and the administrator will not cooperate with police. But if the police can get the email address through the Gravata hash, then they can go to the provider who is usually a local ISP, and then tools will give the name with a court order. And also, political adversaries, if they get the email address of someone, of a forum user they want to target, then they can use this target to send a targeted spear phishing email with like malware on the PDF or something, like the Chinese do apparently with Tibetan guys. So, a practical example though. Now, the main French political forum actually uses Gravata, and it's on the it's a far-wing forum. And while the current government is left-wing, it's been qualified as very influenced by Arrêt sur l'Image, and also as the top one political blog in France by the journal newspaper Le Figaro. So, and the identity of these forums administrator, it's suspected who it is. There is no proof. The police cannot prove who it is. And lawsuits are like every week. There are lawsuits filed against the site because of posters. Because of posters on the blog, comment posters. And so what I did is that I wrote the crawler to recover the hashes from the site, and I got around 2,800 Gravata hashes. And then I got a beta version of Hashcat from Atom, thanks. And because of the characters length, because of the length limit, as I say. And I managed to recover 45% of the email addresses. well, with the help in 3 days, normally 3 days, so not really trying very hard, with the help of Jeremy. And like, without even trying to write custom rules that work for email, just these normal rules we use for passwords, you know. And that was in 3 days. Imagine what the government would do. They could probably recover all of them in a few days. Okay. So what I did was an hybrid attack with hashcat, with a character set of AZ, 09, and dot, dash, and underscore. That's like the mask side on in hashcat. And for the type dictionaries, there was on the left side dictionary, there was usernames. Very often the username is kind of the same as the email. The legal list of Facebook first name, the legal list of Facebook last names, and also a dictionary of words from Wikipedia. And of course, on the right side, a dictionary of popular email domains, and a few other rules. So in France, that's a list I made of popular webmail providers, you know, Gmail and stuff. Also, ISP, the emails that come from ISPs, like NAF, Telecom, SFR, Orange. Disposable email addresses are interesting too, Mailingator, Yahoo!, Ymail. Ymail is also pretty popular and it was actually found by during cracking. And another interesting thing that some people might think that by using these disposable email addresses that they are safe. But actually, you can go do password recovery, and then you log to the disposable if you know to this size what. You find the email address, you do a password recovery, then you go log into your mail of these things, and you can then change the guy's password. And once you change the password, you can change the email address, and so you have hijacked the account. So, bit of statistics for fun. What is the distribution of domains? So, the vast majority is using Gmail. Second is Hotmail, the French version, the .com version. Yahoo, free.fr is very popular in France. You can see that just after these ones you have Yahoo!, which is one of the disposable emails. So I can hijack the account of all these people if I want. Few statistics to finish. 13% of the recovered address contain the username of the person. 34% contain a number. 32% have the number at the end. 13% contain the punctuation, that's a dot, underscore, or dash. 8% dot, 3% an underscore, 1.7% dash, and only 4% have both numbers and punctuation. What further research could we do? As I said, this was basic rules for password cracking. There's a lot you can do with emails. Like there's a lot of rules that can be written, like first letter of first name, last name, first letter of first name, dot last name, first name, dot last name, and many rules can be written. So I can probably go, if I want, a lot further than 45%. And that's it. Thank you guys. Any questions?